Hello there YouTube. This is a orchid spotlight on the dendrobium, a miniature dendrobium that I was able to rebloom, managed to rebloom. This is Dendrobium Cherry Song by Enobi, Purple Splash Cultivar Alba. So you could see it's a very compact dendrobium. You would think that pretty much the dendrobiums that you would see, the typical dendrobiums, are more than a foot, close to 2 feet in height, like the nobili types and the antelope types, which are the hard cane types. This is a hard cane dendrobium. So, and also an evergreen, so it doesn't lose leaves, and it doesn't have really a resting period, so it's growing all year round, so that's good. So it's always putting out new growths, and check the roots here. See, so it's actually in active root growth. And at the same time, it gave out this new set of flowers. So I have 3 spikes, so you could see from 3 different growths. And the good thing about this plant is that it's supposed to rebloom again from old canes, and also, of course, with the new canes. So all the new canes are capable of giving new flower spikes, new blooms. It's a very compact dendrobium, as you can see. This is a this is a typical mug, and pretty much the flowers, the size of the flowers to the plant is relatively big, so you could see there. So it's a very fun dendrobium to grow. It doesn't take up much space, and it's related to the Dendrobium phalaenopsis. Well, they call it Dendrobium phalaenopsis because of the similarity of the shape of the flowers to a typical phalaenopsis. This is a phalaenopsis, as you can see here, and you could see the resemblance of the flowers to this Dendrobium phalaenopsis. Dendrobium phalaenopsis is not actually the correct or scientific term for it. The parentage is mainly coming from this Dendrobium bigibbum, and 80% of the heritage of this plant is from the Dendrobium bigibbum, but it's much smaller because of the its parentage to much more compact dendrobiums. I forgot the names of the dendrobiums. Like, it's 1/4 of the parentage. So even at that small percentage of the heritage of the plant, it still gets to be a very compact plant that you could put in your home. Actually grow this inside the house. As you could see there, I have an indoor growing space, and it perfectly works well or grows well under the fluorescent lights. So it's one of those plants that you could definitely bring in and put under lights, and they grow well. And yeah, and I'm really happy with it, and it's really nice to take care of, because it just puts out new growth just as long as you water it sparingly, and make sure that it dries out in between waterings, and in bright light. If you're growing it outdoors, make sure it's shaded light so it won't be too hot, especially for a much smaller plant that could get sunburn. Okay, so that's my orchid spotlight, and hopefully you enjoyed it. See you soon again for another orchid spotlight and orchid tips for growing indoors.